Hello YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. They're everybody's favorite building blocks and the reason why you should always wear shoes around the house. More than just a children's toy, they're an implementation of creativity, and when the right minds get their hands on them, Lego can become something stunning. Now, let me tell you, loyal archivist, it was no easy feat to go through the many impressive concepts, but we've pinpointed the top 10 most amazing Lego creations for your wonder and amazement. Settle down now. Number 10, Nintendo DSi. Nintendo has come out with so many different sizes and versions of the Nintendo DS that we wouldn't be surprised if this 7-foot or 2-meter wide Lego iteration gave them any ideas for the world's first oversized handheld. Comprised of over 51,300 Lego pieces, the baby blue DSi was built for the European, North American, and Australian release of the handheld console. The extremely detailed sculpt includes a removable stylus, raised buttons, microphone and charging ports, and dual screens that, from afar, look functional. In all, the playful creation weighed in at about 250 pounds or roughly 113 kilograms. Number 9. Starship OSS Pontbriand. From the outside, this overly white structure may not seem as impressive as other Lego designs you may have seen. But, as they say, never judge an intergalactic starship by its shiny exterior. By opening the top panels of the Pontbriand, you're immediately thrust into the imagination of architect Jeffrey Pelletier of Seattle, Washington. The AFOL, or adult fan of Lego, has had an affinity for Lego-branded sets, but the Pontbriand was his own 7-foot or 2-meter creation. The interior is a living, breathing starship, complete with a labyrinthian layout that fits a crew of over 100, enough bunks to sleep them all, a myriad of science labs, a hangar, and a mess hall. That each room serves a purpose shows the amount of time Pelletier spent simply conceptualizing the layout of this grand structure. Number 8. Harry S. Truman Aircraft Carrier. Named after the United States' 33rd President, this historic aircraft carrier was first commissioned in 1998 and has since been a flagship of the U.S. Navy. If you think the 1,092-foot or 332-meter carrier is an impressive behemoth, just wait till you meet its blocky counterpart, designed and built by Mal Hawking. Built from 200,000 Lego pieces, the replica measures at 16.5 feet or 5 meters long and includes features similar to the real carrier. In addition to individual aircraft atop the flight deck, the Lego carrier also features movable radar dishes and elevators and working lights throughout the imposing vessel. Number 7. Times Square. The city that never sleeps was given the Lego treatment in 2009 when Lego artist Sean Kenny, backed by Samsung, built a mini replica of one of Manhattan's biggest tourist attractions, Times Square. It may be far from the largest Lego sculpture and built from just over 20,000 pieces, but it's not the size that impresses, it's the detail. Accurate billboards for Broadway shows like Les Miserables and The Lion King overlook a busy intersection, while a Samsung tower overlooks the crowd. Built within the branded tower are 2 functional digital screens. The construction, which features working lights and some of the city's more iconic characters like the Naked Cowboy, took Kenny 300 hours to build and was featured at the Columbus Circle Samsung Experience Store in New York. Number 6. Abston Church of Christ. While there's no mention in the Bible on how the Catholic Church feels about Lego interpretations of their houses of the Lord, we have to assume, if it is shunned, they'd make an allowance for the Abston Church of Christ. Spearheaded by Amy Hughes, the 2-year construction took over 75,000 bricks and over 1,300 Lego minifigs to bring to life a church that even Giovanni de Dolce would be proud of. The church stands at 7 feet or roughly 2 meters tall and 5.5 feet or about 1.6 meters wide, and features a heavenly interior, complete with a Lego crucifix and a meticulous level of detailing in the walls and flooring. Glass paneling lets light shine in, basking the many churchgoers, all fashioned after friends of Amy and Lego enthusiasts, in an angelic glow.
It's not enough to make the Legos move, they also have to capture your heart.
Number 5. President Obama Inauguration. Whether President Trump or former President Obama had the larger inauguration is inconsequential when you realize only President Obama's has been immortalized in grand Lego form. In 2008, Legoland California used the already impressive Capitol building model to honor Barack Obama's inauguration. Rather than use generic minifigs to represent people of notability, including the future president and family, and then President George W. Bush, every person for the display was carefully crafted out of Lego bricks. Oprah Winfrey, Joe Biden, Barbara Bush, Aretha Franklin, the United States Marine Band, and the San Francisco Boys Chorus are among the hundreds of recognizable, faceless models in the crowd. The scene depicted Obama's swear-in ceremony, his arrival, complete with Lego motorcade, and even the lines that formed at the portable toilets through the use of thousands upon thousands of individual bricks. Number 4. Egyptian Pharaoh. We spend so much time trying to figure out who really built the pyramids that we often forget to ask the truly important questions. Questions like, who had the time, energy, and dedication to build a 16-foot or roughly 5-meter, 200,000-piece, 2,000-pound or 907-kilogram Egyptian pharaoh statue out of Lego? Maybe not as much of a mystery as the Egyptian pyramids. The oversized pharaoh was constructed over a 5-month period by a team of 5 in 2009. After construction in the Czech Republic, the incredibly detailed Lego Pharaoh made the 1,395-mile or 2,245-kilometer trip by truck and then by boat down the River Thames to Legoland Windsor to mark the grand opening of a new attraction, Kingdom of the Pharaohs. Number 3. Sport City. In 2008, the Hong Kong Lego Users Group was charged with creating a Sport City display in honor of the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing. The end product of the several hundred-hour project featured true-to-life replicas of the National Stadium, National Aquatic Center, Swimming Cube, and Olympic Village, all featuring their own nuances to help bring them to life. The Swimming Cube and Aquatic Center, which were tackled by Vincent Chung over 120 hours, stand out amongst the very busy display as they're highlighted by the soft blue hue of a fluorescent lamp and transparent blue walls. The entire city used more than 300,000 bricks and features over 4,500 Lego minifigs, all engaged in a variety of activities. After completion, the blocky city was placed on display at the Grand Century Place in Hong Kong. Number 2. Volvo XC90. In 2004, Volvo Cars of North America was on a campaign to promote driving safety and family values. And what better way to do so than to partner up with Legoland, California? The two companies joined forces to build life-sized models of the 2004 Volvo XC90, which were then put on display at Legoland, California, where it was used to prank the park's general manager at the New York Auto Show and at Boston Volvo. The hollow replica was pieced together with 201,423 Lego bricks over a 2-month period and weighed about 2,930 pounds or roughly 1,329 kilograms. To match the XC90 as accurately as possible, the team of model builders started with a real XC90 frame. Number 1. Tower Bridge. Setting the record in September of 2016 for the largest Lego sculpture ever was not some ambitious AFOL trying to impress the world with his MOC, but rather Land Rover. That's right. The luxury car manufacturer stole the show with its 42-foot or roughly 13-meter reconstruction of London's Tower Bridge. But its height isn't what earned Land Rover the record. In total, the Lego Bridge used 5,805,846 bricks to complete, beating out the prior record by 470,646 Lego. The build was used in the launch event for their latest new Discovery car, and though the show featured Bear Grylls rappelling from the top of the bridge and Olympic gold medalist Sir Ben Ainslie driving the new SUV through the water that crossed beneath the functional drawbridge, it's safe to say the massive Lego creation was the showstopper.